Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining. Just 1 minute to check the voice quality. Okay, so everything looks fine. Good afternoon to every one of you. Good morning. So the topic for today will be about the USD. So what we expect from USD this week? So we are going to look at the price analysis for the dollar index, US100, gold, euro, USD, and probably some other currency pairs. So the first one that we are going to look at will be the economic calendar as usual. It was very important day today. During the morning, during the early hours of a European morning, we saw the retail data from New Zealand. They came out better than expected. However, New Zealand dollar didn't move much. It was a small move. The biggest move began yesterday. Yesterday it was a real surprise considering that it was weak from China's problem during all these moments. And during the opening of the London market, we had data from Germany related with composite PMI data, manufacturing and services. This was the first punch that Euro got today. Every already speculated a lot with these numbers. Previously, these data were not so strong, so they didn't move the market in this way. One problem that I actually see is the season that we are right now that is making the price moving up and down very easily. And another problem is that many currency pairs are already testing uh, very old areas or extreme areas, let's say. So many of them are in critical price zones. Another one that was very important that the market was focused as well were the data from the UK. As you can see, they are all in red, lower than expected, and this is showing that also the business sector in the UK is contracting. Another problem that is discussed in this topic here is the higher interest rates. The market already priced in the increase from the Bank of England of the interest rates that will be on September. But on the other hand, if you are going to look at the charts, the British pound already is testing very old areas, and in the current situation is not making sense at all considering that they are not performing at all. So the UK economy is doing very bad, and you can see at the same time that the British pound is getting stronger and stronger. It doesn't make sense, however, already in that position. And if we are going to look at the data today, probably they may begin to slow down on the price increase related with the British pound. During the day, that will be very interesting, and it is normal that will create price volatility in the market, will be also the manufacturing PMI data from the US and also services from the US. So let's see if these data are going to come slower than expected like the other countries, or probably the US is going to perform better. However, we have seen that during this period of time, during the previous month, the US performed very, very well. So the chances can be higher that they can be more than expected, or as a minimum, we can expect them to be in line with the expectations. However, it remains to be seen. If this data will be above 50, it will be again a good sign. So the US dollar may be on the bullish side again. So that's all for today. And for the rest of the week, the focus will be on the Jackson Hole Symposium that is held once per year, and the central banks have to discuss a specific topic. So we have to see what they will discuss. However, what is very important is that probably Powell is going to be hawkish again. He never said that he is not supporting the US dollar, or probably the economy is doing bad. So as long as he is a big supporter of the US economy, I think that he will push the US dollar getting stronger even in these days. However, we have to see the final results, because the Jackson Hole Symposium will finish on Saturday, August 26th. So the real impact of the symposium will be on Monday, as you can see here. So at the opening of the week. That is why we have to be careful. But this is the most important event for this week. So let's get back on our technical analysis so far. Let's see what is already happening. Thank you so much to all of you for joining. Feel free to let me know if you have any question. The first one that we are going to look at is the dollar index. With the dollar index, we are going to have a clear idea what is happening with the US currency pairs. So if we are going to look at from a bigger picture on a daily time frame, it's very important that the price is already breaking out from this pattern here. So it was a type of wedge or channel pattern. It doesn't matter because it's the problem with the shape, how we can see this. What is very important so far is that the price is above the pattern, and this is showing that the bullish volume is already growing here. However, sometimes it doesn't mean anything at all, but we have to look at what is happening also on a lower time frame and on our bigger perspective. Also, when we were following the dollar index from this point here, the bullish scenario had higher chances, and we can see that also after a bearish movement, the bullish movement already continued here. This was in line with the depreciation of the US dollar. We are following this since a long period of time. Also, the analysis that was shared yesterday, so the price is still moving on the bullish side. And as you can see today, the price is still growing. The first pattern that we had was this big pattern. And yesterday, finally, we had another 4-hour accumulation pattern that was showing that the chances were getting higher for a possible bullish movement. So far, the price already reached this small target that we are looking at. But what is really happening here, if we are going to delete these targets, I'm going to clean this, and we can see very clearly that the price already created a new higher high, and we are in this situation so far. So we have another ugly pattern, we have another bullish pattern, and this 4-hour candle close is showing that the bulls have the price control here, and it can continue to grow further. This is also related with the fact that we have the Jackson Hole Symposium. Powell will support the US dollar, and it may help also more for the dollar index to continue to increase in this situation. As you can see, we don't have any bearish reversal at all. Everything is bullish. That is why we have to be very careful. So we don't have to trade on the opposite side of the US dollar. If you are going to do that, it will be very risky, very difficult, so be careful. Even if we are going to see any correction at this moment, it will be another possibility for the price to grow further again. So this is the only scenario that I'm looking at during this moment of time for the dollar index. Considering this perspective, this may increase the chances that the bullish trend may continue to increase more. So let's get back to our daily time frame. The first resistance area, as we can see, will be close to the top of the structure. So we may see the price to face resistance close to 104.6 probably. And if the price will manage to break through this area, then the next zone will be the top of the pattern that we have. It's not a clear pattern overall, but the structure areas are very strong, and probably the price has to react somehow in these areas. So this is what I'm looking at so far. Even if we are going to move again on a 4-hour time frame, we can see that this is positioned for a possible bullish movement that may continue up to our areas again. So let's see what is going to happen. The next one that we are going to look at is the US dollar. We are going to look at from a structure perspective. Sorry, this is gold. During the previous times that I have shared this analysis, the price was testing this structure zone, and from a bigger perspective on gold, we may see that the price already stopped close to the structure zone, close to 1980 approximately. So it proved that we have sellers near this area and the price will not move above that zone again. However, if we are going to look at also the structure zone, during this period of time the price broke down and it was like it was getting ready for a bigger bearish movement. However, this is getting more complex. It is not doing that movement. We have to be very careful. Usually, after these breakouts, the price tends to continue with the movement of the predominant trend, but that is not a must all the time. That is why we have to be very careful with gold if you like this to trade. Also, on a lower time frame, the price is showing that it is doing something else here. As you can see, it came down, increased, and it is getting ready for a possible movement. However, for the moment this is not so clear. It may increase, but the next movement will be down again. Another problem that I see with gold is that if we are going to look at the dollar index, it is showing only for a possible bullish movement, as the price is already positioned because this gold is affected from these moves. But on the other hand, if we are going to move back on gold chart, the price is not so clear. It is moving on the opposite side of gold, and probably we may see any bearish movement during the Jackson Hole Symposium. That is why we have to be careful and we have to see what is going to happen. So far, gold is bullish. It is increasing the bullish momentum. The chances could be very high that probably we can be in a type of movement like this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably a fifth wave down. However, it's very difficult at this moment to anticipate when this small bullish movement will end, because it can stop on this area here, or probably it can stop even lower on the second structure zone. That is why we have to be very careful with gold. It's showing bullish volume, but probably it can be a limited upside movement. So far, this is the movement that I am expecting. The problem is only with the reversal moment that may happen on gold. So we can see as a maximum price increase close to 1915, or probably close to the next structure 1930. So these are two areas that I'm looking at for a possible bearish movement. However, let's see. It's too early to anticipate the bearish move so far, but the current situation is also very tricky because we have also the bearish breakout. So it's a complex scenario more than we may think here. And that is why we have to be very careful with gold. Another chart that I have shared also before is related with US100 on the weekly chart. When I shared, the price completed this harmonic pattern, and this was showing that the chances were very high for a possible bearish movement from the weekly zone. As you can see, price already reached the first target on Nasdaq, and the chances are very high that it may continue with the other targets during the coming weeks and months probably. However, on the current situation, we have to be very careful considering that the market focus will be on the Jackson Hole Symposium, and considering also that Powell is going to support the US dollar, but it will not be related only with the US dollar, but it will be related with the US economy, the chances are very high that we may see indexes to recover again. So this is what I'm looking at during this moment. If that is going to happen, we may see indexes probably to move close to the top or probably even lower because we have structure areas here. As you can see, we have one zone that can stop indexes close to 15,440. This is for Nasdaq, as you can see. And if the price will respect this structure, the chances will get higher that we may see a bearish movement from this point. Exists also a possible scenario that we may see the price to test the top again before it moves down. However, everything will be related to the comments that we are going to have. It is not supposed that if Powell is not going to support the US economy, US is going to be weaker and indexes are going to perform better. So that is not true. We have to focus only on the support that Powell is going to do about the US economy. So let's see. Probably the sell will be the best choice again. I would like to be very careful with the long positions. It is very complex so far, considering that the Jackson Hole Symposium will begin tomorrow. Probably we are in a possible movement that will create in this way. So we can have any bullish pattern here before the price will continue to increase further again. So let's be careful because it will not be an easy scenario how the price may develop during this moment of time. But probably we may see this bullish movement happening. As you can see, we have also correction on the 4-hour chart. These candles are only moving up and down, and we can see that the price is already contracting here. So we may have any type of bullish flag or probably any type of contracting triangle. So it is not a clear pattern so far. However, we have to see how the price will begin the next movement. It will be a bit complex, but overall, I'm expecting a possible support for the US economy. The next one that I shared also today, and this is also a trading scenario that I have shared also during the previous times, as you can see in this point here. The price already is showing that we had the moment of correction. This happened since at the end of July, as you may see, 27 July here. Price began the breakout during August, and so far the price was in the zone again. So this is approximately a 3-week movement, or probably a bit more, that the price was without any clear direction. This was related also with the news events. The economy calendar during August was completely empty. We didn't have anything at all, and that is why the price spent time. And the movement that we can see here began yesterday during the US opening. So the chances can be very high that after the first movement that happened, we have the correction, the price is getting ready to continue moving down further here. If we are going to look at on a daily time frame, what we can see is that the price is already creating this type of movements here. So let's keep it in this way. The price is creating this type of wedge pattern, it was showing contraction, but we have to see how the price will create it will react at this moment. If we are going to see any breakout and the possible movement up to our target zone, the chances will get higher that we may see any correction and probably a bigger movement. I am looking at for a possible bigger movement on Euro USD since a long period of time, despite that the fact is already reacting near the top all the time, as you can see here. This was also a possible movement that I was looking at before, and how the price was reacting close to the top. So this was the price projection that I was looking at also during that moment for Euro USD. And from the top we can see that the price is already down, and here we have the price from the top that is down here. So after any correction, the chances will get higher for a deeper movement. However, I'm not expecting any deeper movement up to 1.0 this time, probably a bit lower. However, we are in a possible bearish movement during the coming month. On the lower time frame, as you can see, the price is barely moving. During the data from Eurozone today, the data that we had, the data from Germany and also from Eurozone supported the bearish movement, but so far the price is not moving at all. On a 60-minute time frame, we can see that the price didn't move much from the news. It was only 70 pips, and now the price is only waiting since many hours here. The reason is only that the price is waiting for the data from the US that will come out in 53 minutes, as we can see, and it will be very decisive for the next movement. So the maximum that we may expect for Euro USD is also a possible pullback that can test this area, or if the market will be more aggressive, we'll test the second one. However, with Jackson Hole Symposium, both movements can push the price down again. However, I would like to focus more on the first area for Euro USD during this moment. Today we are going to look at also natural gas. This is an analysis that I shared when the price was close to the top. And as you can see, the price already reached two targets and it's close to the last target here, the third target. However, if we are going to break this down on a lower time frame, this is getting a bit complex so far. Just one moment. Today I shared also an analysis that the price was creating a possible flag pattern here, and the chances are going to be higher that with the breakout from this pattern, the price may continue to move down further. However, as you can see, the accumulation looks interesting, but the price is not creating any solid breakout from the current pattern. A very small price reaction here, probably it's waiting for the data from the US again. The chances may be that the price may continue with the bearish movement. If we are going to look at these corrections, so far the price reacted very well, and we may see any possible movement for the fifth wave on the natural gas. If we are going to have the fifth movement as we are expecting, the price may stop close to the base of the structure, as I shared today, and probably it can continue moving down even more if the price will break the structure area where we are looking at. So after 2.5, I'm looking at for 2.4 as a strong psychological target zone again. So these are the two targets that I'm looking for. However, we have to be careful because the price is not showing any clear breakout from this zone here. So this is the analysis that I have shared at this moment. So let's be careful. This is what the price is already creating. The correction that we can see is part of the fourth wave development here. So let's see what is going to happen during the US data. Just one moment. Tatenda is asking, can you analyze Dow Jones? The problem is that Dow Jones is moving in the same way like US100 so far. And for a clear perspective, we have to wait also for the US PMI data. Because it is only within a correction, it is not that clear as it seems. I can't find anything so far for US30. Let's see what do we have here. This is an harmonic pattern that I have shared before for US30. It has already reached the target, so this is close to the second one. The problem is that this is not showing anything at all so far. It is only correcting. It's doing the same thing as US100. The price is only in correction, so we don't have any clear direction for the moment. We have to wait. And the problem for today will be because everything will be related with the data from the US, which can push the price down again close to the top or even higher, or we may see the price to break through the pattern and we can see the price moving even lower. So the next target, if the price will continue moving down, probably will be the structure zone. However, I would like to be very conservative considering that the market is expecting for the Jackson Hole Symposium, because it can create any strange bearish breakout and we may see the price moving up again. So far, we are only in a corrective pattern that is not showing any direction for the moment. So this is for US30. Also, Florian is asking about Solana. Just let's see what do we have for Solana. I have shared this also some days ago. This is the Solana analysis. The price already reached the first target that we had here. However, I would suggest to be very careful with Solana because it reacts in a very weird way. I wouldn't like to hold this for a long period of time, in my opinion. Let's see what is already happening with Solana. This is what we are looking at since some days ago. It was on August 18 when I shared this analysis. It was here. The price was close to the structure. After the big sell-off began that was related with a sell-off on Bitcoin, we can see that the price already reached our target. It can continue with the bearish movement. I am not expecting anything good from Bitcoin so far, so we can continue doing this movement here. However, I would like to be very careful because everyone is looking at for a possible deeper bearish movement on all the crypto market. But this is another problem that I would like to be careful. It is not showing many data so far. The chances are both that we may see a 1 to 3 movement that can push the price close to the structure and later it can move down, or it can move down also from the current price position. So it is not clear at all with this data here. It is just only a small correction, but as I checked also Bitcoin, it is not holding very strong, but also it is not giving up. That is why we have to be very careful. This is a possible scenario that I shared during these days, and look at the price reaction that was created. After the big movement was created on Bitcoin, we saw this correction. This was the first target that was reached from this double trading scenario, and the price is in this zone again. So we may see the price to bounce, it can increase, and probably later we may see another sell-off. So there are too many scenarios. I would like to be very careful with Solana. Probably a possible bearish movement may happen only if Bitcoin is going to break through 25,800, and probably this may create another bearish movement on all altcoins as well. So this is the only possibility that I see. For Solana only on its chart, I don't think that this is clear anymore because it didn't continue to move down. It is only in the same area again that is already developed. So let's be careful. If you manage to close profits, that's fine. Just stay away from the market, in my opinion, until it will create something clearer. So that's all what I prepared for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I will share more interesting contents. And don't forget also the potential movement that we may see from the US dollar. The price is still positioned for bullish movement, and we have to be very careful. We should not be against the US dollar for the moment. So this is until the US dollar will confirm something different. Thank you for joining, and I hope to see you all on the next live streaming. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.